from your breaking news and weather authority. This is 13 Wham News at 6.
Nearly 100 hopefuls are one step closer in becoming a Rochester police officer today. Many eager to fill the vacancies that plague the department. Good evening, I'm Chase Howell. A recruitment event targeting the men and women hoping to join the police force was in full swing today. Recruits participated in the RPD training program since February, and since then, many things have happened in the city of Rochester. As 13 Wham's Dalton Williams reports, recruits are still eager to join the force as violence continues to torment the city. Dalton.
Yes, I'm here at a Stop the Violence event while the Rochester Police Force works to bolster its numbers with their latest recruitment event. In May, Police Chief David Smith said that there were about 68 vacancies in the Rochester Police Force. Today, around 100 recruits showed up to see if they have what it takes to become a member of the RPD. Recruiters for RPD say they're looking for people who are mature and can handle themselves in tough situations, which is why Sergeant Justin Collins says it's important to be direct in explaining to these folks what they can expect going forward. So far this year, there has been 48 homicides with more than 200 people shot. Collins says there have been an increase in people interested in becoming a member of the RPD so they can help bring a change and possibly stop this rise in violence.
We're looking for that special person that's going to go out there, make it through a hiring process, make it through the academy, make it through field training, and become a successful officer that's community first based.
Coming up tonight at 10 and 11, I share what the candidates think of their training, what they've gained from it so far, and what they hope to expect when they become a police officer. Live in Rochester, I'm Dalton Williams, 13 Wham News.
All right, Dalton, thank you. A 66-year-old Warsaw man is dead after a crash in Leroy yesterday afternoon. State police say Dwayne Hamill was driving a pickup truck going south on State Route 19 and swerved into oncoming traffic, striking an SUV. Hamill was ejected from his truck after going off the roadway and overturning it. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The other driver was treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The cause is under investigation. Billows of black smoke poured out of a scrapyard that was on fire this morning. The Rochester Fire Department says they responded to 80 Steel Street after calls reporting a scrapyard fire. Upon arrival, RFD says they located fire coming out of a large pile of scrap metal and were able to get it under control after about 30 minutes. RFD says no one was injured and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. Turning to weather now on this beautiful warm day, but I'm hearing it may not last long. Scott Hesko is here to share what we can expect over the next 24 hours. Scott?
Well, yeah, Chase, I mean, it's not going to be a whole lot worse out there other than a few showers, but we certainly haven't seen that in quite a while. Temperatures today, beautiful, upper 70s right now, region-wide. You can see that we have 78 in Rush, 77 in Rochester. Wham shows a beautiful night right now. Wind out of the northeast. The air is very dry, and that's very important for the constitution of our chances of getting any weather with respect to rain, because the air is so dry, it's hard to make it rain, and we'll have to moisten up the atmosphere first. 62 by midnight, a mostly to partly cloudy sky. A nice night, and you can see there is rain in the neighborhood. It's down across Pennsylvania right now, further south and west. As we take you further south, you can see that there are some showers over West Virginia. A lot of this missing us now, but I do think tomorrow a chance for a shower or two. Temperatures by 5 o'clock will be in the mid-70s, so certainly not a terrible day. There's more rain showers in the forecast, and I'll tell you why. We really could use every last drop in my forecast coming up in a few.
All right, Scott, thank you. Developing news tonight out of Pennsylvania. One woman is dead and 17 others are injured after a man drove his car into a crowd. The group had gathered in the borough of Berwick to raise funds for the victims of an August 5th house fire. 24-year-old Adrian Reyes is accused of driving into that crowd and also beating his mother to death with a hammer just a half-mile away. 4 people are in critical condition. Reyes has been charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide. He has since been denied bail. A Sunday mass turning deadly after a fire ripped through a church in Egypt this morning, killing 41 people, including 15 children. The fire also injuring 16 others. Police are now pointing to an electrical short circuit as the cause of the fire. An explosion at a fireworks storage area in Armenia's capital killed at least one person and injured 51 others this afternoon. The explosion left firefighters working to put out the large fire for hours. The explosion happened a little over a mile south from the city's center, a go-to spot for its low prices and variety of goods. At this hour, it's unclear what caused the fireworks to ignite. A U.S. congressional delegation is now in Taiwan for an unannounced two-day visit. Delegation to the independent democratic nation is being led by Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey. The group plans to meet with Taiwan's president and other top leaders during the visit. Taiwan says it's grateful for U.S. support amid escalating tensions with Beijing. The visit comes after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi met with leaders in Taiwan, which caused an uproar in U.S.-Chinese relations. China's responded with days of military drills near the island nation. Republicans today calling for healthy skepticism of this week's search of Mar-a-Lago, but also respect for federal law enforcement officials. FBI Director Christopher Wray says his agency is dealing with an unprecedented number of violent threats following this week's search of former President Trump's Florida home. Some Republican lawmakers say Trump is being treated unfairly. That's as other Republicans are saying the agency was carrying out a lawful search warrant signed off by a judge.
They had other options. I'm certain that you have to understand that going into his house, especially the former president, President Biden's political rival, into his house for 9 hours is the most intrusive, invasive, and Attorney Garland's got to justify that.
They didn't go in there with FBI raid jackets. They tried to constrain their behavior carrying out that warrant. So let's support law enforcement. Let's stand with them.
Trump is under investigation for possible violations of the Espionage Act, which makes it illegal to spy for another country or mishandle U.S. defense information. FBI agents removed 11 sets of classified documents from Trump's beach club this week, including some labeled top secret. Author Salman Rushdie is now off of a ventilator after his stabbing attack on Friday, but remains in critical condition. His agent says Rushdie is on the road to recovery. The writer was stabbed in the neck, stomach, eye, chest, and thigh. His son says he can speak again and his feisty humor is still intact. Governor Kathy Hochul responding to the attack, referencing the First Amendment.
I will tell you right now, as your governor, New York State will always stand up to protect freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and we condemn the cowardly attack on Salman Rushdie.
24-year-old Hady Matar was taken into custody immediately after the attack. He has since pleaded not guilty. Coming up, hot and dry weather is to blame for these dead fields, where they're at and how it could affect some playtime. And a third of the food we eat is at high risk, how bees and butterflies are key to its survival.
The 13 WHAM